Hey everyone, Eddie here. We are back with Sephiria. I'm very excited for today's video because we are unveiling yet another new character. And I know I've said this in the past couple of videos as we've been unveiling these new costumes, but they do just keep getting better and better. Look at this duck. It has a cute little green tie, it looks like. Love it. Love it. If you haven't watched our previous new character builds and lore, please check those out. They'll be the most recent here on the playlist as this video is posting. And we're just utilizing the newest costumes to create cool characters, really fun builds, and amazing backstories for each. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce this character. So this is Darwin. Darwin is the smartest student at the Academy at a very young age. Academy is very well known for its spellcasters and magic users, bringing perhaps the best mages and warlocks in all of the land. However, Darwin is just a simple student. He just loves the luxuries of reading his books and all of his academia. Now is on the verge of becoming the valedictorian at a young age. One day, a group of students, however, forced Darwin to trespass into the dreaded and forbidden Roots Retreat. Oh no. Darwin takes his bravery down to the Roots Retreat with these students, and then they hear a eerie, creaky, loud roar, almost like a dreaded crow. In fear, they run and scatter, and all are well and safe. However, Darwin realizes he left his backpack behind. Now, with just a few hours away from his mother coming home, Darwin must dive down to the Roots Retreat to retrieve his backpack before getting grounded. This one's going to be a lot of fun. So we're doing the Fruit Skewer, we're doing Academy 100%, and Guardian 100%. It's going to be a very defensive elemental build, but we'll show you why. We're going to be starting off with the Wish Fountain at the highest level, which is going to allow us to pick up Broken Mirror here, which is becoming one of my favorite items in the Guardian set, and Meditation Book, because, well, Darwin loves his books and reads, and, well, for spellcasters, this is a very, very highlighted book within their academy. Now, we are going for the talents 20 Endure, so that'll give us the plus 20 defense, and, of course, the willpower so we can get the Wish Fountain and get that plus 20 luck. So we are going this rubber shield and plastic sword to dive through because, well, this is going to be the first time a hero is not diving down. Darwin is just a student, but he needs something to defend himself down here because he's heard the dreaded Roots Retreat at level 30 can be perilous. So will Darwin be able to recover his backpack in time or be grounded for life? Let's find out. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. It does help me out, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, please feel free to post in the comments. I do reply to all of my comments, so let me know what you think of the game, the gameplay, the build, and the lore. And of course, if you'd like to follow this and all of my content, please subscribe. We are building a great community here. Would love to see you join, especially if you're enjoying the content. And a big shout out to all of my current subscribers that constantly comment, like, and share my videos. Thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate you. Now, Darwin is very brave. But I think we all become a little brave, especially when we're young, and we don't want to get in trouble. We'll do whatever it takes to cover something up, right? Or try to resolve it before anybody can see the damage that's done. So diving down to the level 30 Roots Retreat has got to be a sign we do not want to get in trouble, right? Especially for Darwin being at the head of his class. That has to do something to his reputation, right? So this build is going to start off pretty slow. We do only have one spell, but the goal is to get multiple as an elementalist. And with Darwin's special ability, should be able to see actually some really cool stuff as we progress. Let's go ahead and pick up the Snowflake. We won't be able to utilize it just yet, but it will at least get us into the realm of Glacier, so hopefully we can start seeing those spells there as well. We'd like to have a really good balance. Okay, looks like we actually cleared this first floor. Alright, so let's see. Tablet's always good early on, because in Roots Retreat, it is difficult, especially at level 30 or higher, to come across those. The Anvil, of course, and depending on what we find as far as artifacts, an early enchant could be a blessing. So let's go ahead and dive into the tablet here. This puny plastic sword is not going to be doing the trick. Luckily, Darwin has read, in regards to Roots Retreat, the enemies slowly become stronger. So at the very least, although these are level 30 enemies, they're not the brightest, as you can see. So Darwin actually has a good matchup with his squeaky sword and his intelligence and knowledge from his studies. Fire Arrow is a great early on spell too, so it's no wonder he brought that spell with him as his grimoire of choice. Now, the good thing here in regards to Academy is it is going to heighten the haste of all of the grimoires. So if we're able to pick up a quantity of spells, it's very helpful, especially if we're able to cast a bunch of different styles of spells, which Darwin is well aware of. Ooh, this is that big open area. I do feel like eventually they are going to connect that somehow. Never know. These devs always surprise us with something. It's going to be a little tough in the earlier stages to get through the armor break, though. So saving the spells for the ones that have the armor will be very beneficial, especially with the burn effect. I do like the Mage's Pendant just to get our Academy going. However, we don't have a bolt yet, so I'd rather pick something else up for the time being. Like Ice Bolt. That's actually a spell we would love to have. So we'll actually swap these two. So now we can spam Ice Bolt here. And with that effect too, we get Glacier going with its set combo effect. So now we'll get Frost Touch, which, from reading in the studies, which Darwin has, it should be able to freeze our enemy at times. We did miss a spot, so let's go this way. Ah, the tablet, of course. Wow, and power right off the bat. For the time being, we could just do this. And hopefully we'll find a high-end spell so that way it could become even more beneficial. Darwin has read about these enchanted anvils. They are supposed to bless the user with a particular enhancement. And I think we know which one he's going to go. The Carrot Sword increases all elemental damage by 3. So from a squeaky plastic sword to now a carrot and a piece of cabbage here for a shield. Very fitting. I don't know if Darwin really thinks he's going to be able to defeat mighty foes with this, but it will enhance his elemental abilities. We are lacking... I mean, the enchant is good, and we're halfway, but we are lacking artifacts. So I'd rather pick up the artifact because it is going to be very crucial, especially because our physical abilities obviously, are not the best. However, having the Ice Bolt, though, is going to give us a great balance here with Fire Arrow. Actually allow us to drop a little bit more of the physicality of using the sword and using more of its magical properties, as most casters would use. Oh, there was the freeze effect. And we did level up, so that's going to be pretty big. In regards to not only the potential of finding a new spell or creating a higher combo. Wow, Frozen Bow. Too bad this is not that type of build. Ray's Star Fragment is good. We could pick this up just to get the Academy rolling. But essentially, it's not going to do anything for us because Darwin may not know it just yet. However, he has a special gift. He is able to cast magic abilities without magic power. Incredible, right? Not even some of the grandest of mages and warlocks are able to do that. So that is definitely a gift. Ice Bolt was a blessing. My goodness. All right, so that's the exit. Oh, we missed a potion here somewhere. Ah. Can't forget any of those. Ooh. This will help out Glacier with cold damage. Like, we could get this from Magic Tech to start off, and we can increase our Academy. I would like to start picking up some Guardian as well, because this is highly beneficial for those. So what I'm thinking is we do something like this. So at least now, since we are using Ice Bolt quite a bit, we can get our cold damage going for that constant attack. This area looks familiar. Ah, this is where they heard that loud, roaring, croaking noise. Let's see. Oh, the goat skeleton. Darwin's read about this fearsome creature. I think he's going to be able to handle his own. Hopefully they are the ones that also stole the backpack. So this will be a quick trip back home. Wow, did that goat skeleton just go through freeze? That is powerful. There we are. Wow. Darwin grows in confidence now. He's defeated a level 30 mini-boss. My goodness. Ooh, another foundation? Wow, another foundation is actually so good. We could double up, but I'm actually thinking of doing this instead. We can actually swap that up top. 13 cold damage. So 13 cold damage and 8 Grimoire damage. Let's try that. Ooh. Burn changes to blue burn. Wow. I mean, I think we have to pick that up. Here is Lightning Bolt, though, but I don't think you pass up on this. So now we actually gained Flame Touch, which is great. And now anytime that we do Burn, it inflicts Blue Burn, which changes based on the higher elemental damage between fire and ice, with an additional damage equal to 25% of the lower. Wow. So it's actually good that we boosted that. So now we're going to want to look for some additional help to boost some of the other elementals as well. Darwin's first boss fight. Please have the backpack, sir. Ooh, we missed that ability. That's okay. We're able to proc the freeze right before his dash. Perfectly timed. All right, we're halfway there, Darwin. We are halfway there. Oh, the blue burn looks amazing. We'll have to write about this in our journal once we complete this. Wow. And just like that, Darwin vanquishes a level 30 boss. Thunder armor? Oh my. That is perhaps one of the best spells to pick up. Well, these were all pretty mediocre, huh? Let's do something like this. So now here's a curiosity. I think I'd rather do something like this. So now the burn damage is at a higher end, but now we have an AoE spell, which is fantastic to cast. And again, there's no MP cost to any of the grimoires. We do still want to focus on haste, which is part of the Academy. So we do want to start getting Academy and Guardian going here, especially because Darwin has read with the dreaded Roots Retreat that the enemies do become more difficult the lower you go. Well, unfortunately, no backpack here. So Darwin now dives to the Woodlands area and hopes to find his backpack in time before becoming grounded. Miracle Root. We've read about this. Rogue, Hunter, no. The Elementalist. Fitting for our young Academist. Very nice. So now with this, it's very interesting because we do have to reserve 15 of our magic power, which will allow the increase of the Grimoire damage by 12. However, because of the fact that Darwin is not using magic power for his grimoires, that's just an even better trade. Wow, that's a great jeweled armor is a great one to pick up. We're about 200 away. I mean, the focus potion we could sell. If anything, just to get rid of it. This is 144. Still wouldn't be enough. Yeah, we would still be pretty shy. We could get rid of all of our potions in this, but all we would be doing is substituting one for another. So I would rather hold on and see what lies in the Woodlands area for our young Darwin. Okay, we only have one dice reroll, so picking up some extra dice wouldn't be so bad here. The anvil would be an obvious choice. And then we could go either tablet or we could go merchant and experience depending on where we are. So I think this is where we'll go. Ooh, a void. We've heard about these dark sectors. Wow, that is oh my goodness, these are all amazing. Darwin has found the perfect void. I mean, I feel like the vest is the one to go. It allows us in both categories. Wow. So just like that. Incredible. What a void to discover. All right, this is the end area, so we still have some new finds to go off of. Let's see Darwin's newfound elemental abilities. Wow. I mean, Thunder Armor is just too good. On top of burning with blue flame and being shot by glacier ice bolts, my goodness. And we can get these elements even stronger. Darwin has read about the possibilities. Wow. It's a very strong build. And we're only at the beginning stages. We could get Glacier up even further, but I kind of like having Glacier F4 so we can kind of balance and maybe focus on the other ones. So I actually think I will hold. If we're not able to, then of course we could bring it, but I don't want to focus too heavily on just one. I'd like to balance it out if possible. Although the cold is our highest currently. So again, balance is key. All right, what will the final weapon enhancement be for our young Darwin? Of course, Excalion. Increases all elemental damage by 2, and Grimoire damage is increased by 15%. Look at this. Of course, very fitting for Darwin. So I think I actually will go the experience and the merchant just to see what they may have. Hopefully pick up another spell. Ooh, Pearl Dust is actually very good. So let's pick up the Pearl Dust. Is there anything that we would want to trade out? Cold damage, that increases there. That's damage dealt as a whole. So this currently is 20%. What's this? 20% as well. So it actually doesn't really matter which one we go. So picking up a tablet here could be beneficial. Could increase our Grimoire damage even more, especially if we can find something in the Academy sets. Let's see what the merchant has quickly, just so we know if we need to save. Wow, Rain of Arrows is a great spell, too. That is a great spell. I mean, potential, this could get increased more. That's Glacier as well. I mean, I do like what I have for Glacier already. That is a pretty good spell. We've been seeing this spirit powder for the frost jellyfish quite often. And we did leave a, what looks like a potion behind. Ah, hiding behind the tree, of course. Ah, a camp. Maybe they have our backpack. Let's check it out. Oh, no. The Black Panther. We've heard stories of this assassin guild. But it looks like our young Darwin is holding their own. Of course. He is the valedictorian after all. Wow. Flawless. Defeated a Black Panther assassin. Wow. I mean, more Academy is welcomed. And now we're at 6, which is perfect. So we're really just looking to pick up even more grimoires if possible. So now the choice is, do we pick up Rain of Arrows? I suppose we do. So now we just have to ensure that we set it. So let's set it here. There we go. Perfect. So we can utilize that at the beginning of fights for even more AoE. No backpack here, unfortunately. But wait, look at all the dead pigs. Oh no. It's the Black Panther Chief. Oh, they are upset at us. Wow. Darwin is pretty quick on his feet, though, I have to say. And using the frost buff here is going to allow us to see when they go hidden. Very skilled. Ooh. You have failed. Wow, Darwin has defeated yet another boss in the level 30 Roots Retreat. Wow. Fire damage lower. I mean, it is by 1. How much is the total? By 10? And then cold. We would focus cold and lightning. Suppose we could pick it up. I mean, it is Academy for 1. We just have to worry about the balance a little bit. Love entrance. So that's 18. We're getting the haste up here. So if we did this, we could increase cold. Fire goes down a little bit, which I suppose is okay for now because fire we don't really have a heavy standard on. I would love to get the magic tech up higher as well because magic tech can be pretty fearsome here. The rain of arrows could be very good too with the cold damage we have. So essentially we could substitute like this if we really wanted to. We are losing 8% Grimoire damage, but this may be okay. Let's see. Guardian is going to be key as well, especially when we get to these higher levels. So unfortunately, the backpack was not here. So we must dive even deeper now into Roots Retreat. Oh no. That hurts because that is an amazing spell. That is such a good spell. Lightning Boomerang would actually be perfect here. We are going to have to unfortunately pass. Okay, what is the setup here? Inventory is great because we want more slots to put even more magic. Enchant is also great because we have a plethora of spots to fill up. And a double enchant, even better. This is actually going to be a very good boost floor, I would say, for young Darwin here. Ooh. Okay. Not bad. And we have an extra potion if we need it. Ooh, Thunder's Earrings. Every 4 seconds deal lightning damage. And apply the electrocution debuff. My goodness, that's so good. And now we get the shock touch effect as well. So now we have a balance of the 3 elements. At least that we have a set combo for each. And we're very close to getting the next set for Academy as well. This is turning out to be a very good run here for our young student. Oh, this was a quick floor. Normally the inventories ones are. I'm a little sad that we're going to leave behind a potion, but what can we do? All right, this enchant should be very helpful here. Yeah, with our current 4 spells combined, it's quite a lot of damage. And although we did lower the fire attribute, it is still very good because it's going to affect for our burn, right? And it's still going to apply a burn damage because of the 25% of the lower attribute. So that's something to keep in mind as well. It is very tough to play Elementalist, but at the same time, can also be very fun if you know how to balance. What I will say is that for a very young student, this does not feel like a level 30 Roots Retreat run. We just keep getting stronger. More Pearl Dust. Why not? And the biggest benefit of the Academy is that we're going to increase our Grimoire damage at 10 by 15%. The regen doesn't necessarily matter because of Darwin's gift, but should be okay here. All right, we got a couple of pathways to go. Wow. So strong. And we're not even full. Oh, goodness. Ooh, Ice Bug is an interesting one. Too bad we can't pick that up, but that is interesting. I forgot about the bugs. There are 3 bugs, 1 for each element. Ooh, Taz. Dice Potion. How many dice do we have? 4? That could be interesting to pick up, just to have a few more rerolls. I actually think we will do that. The rerolls are crucial. There we go. A couple more there. Thank you, Taz. And we have 1 more area to explore. Ah, the enchant area, of course. All right, so what do we want to do here? We could get Thunder Armor to the max. We could increase Thunder Earrings here by a little bit. We can increase our defense. I think actually Standards of Magic would be the most beneficial. Again, we are going to lose more of the fire damage here. So 6, but we are also increasing 6 to both cold and lightning, which are our most dominant abilities at the moment. So yes, I do believe that is the way to go here. And we'll go enchant again. Maybe boost a new artifact that we find, or currently we can swap around some stuff. Maybe even get the Pearl Dust up as well, right? For the total Grimoire damage. I mean, at this point, Darwin feels unstoppable. He is young, though, however, not cocky. So he does know, again, he needs to be careful, because this is the dreaded Roots Retreat. Anything can happen. Actually grab that potion and use one since we were down a little bit. Wow. Oh, and a hidden area. We get an enchant 3 and a hidden area. Wow. Red Snake Eyes is very good. I know our fire is going to do in there, but who doesn't like some meteors raining down from the sky? I mean, in one of our last builds, that was a key item. If you haven't watched Odin the Unkillable from my content, please do. That is a incredible incredible build and a fun character that we made. So out of curiosity, if we were to do this, we would have 2 meteors, right? Okay. Do 3. I mean, I kind of like having the thunder armor at max and then maybe putting... Yeah, maybe putting 1 point into one of the pearl dusts. I mean, we could also do the snowflake up top. Yeah, I do like the thunder armor being at max, so I think I'm going to do that here. And then, let's see, that'll bring it up to 10%. This is 12, so they both do the same. So let's just get one of the pearl dusts going here. And maybe do this. Actually, no, that's way too much damage to lose. It had a huge jump from 120 to 240%. It's a little big of a jump to not take. Okay, so this is the end area. So it looks like we only have 1 more spot to go. Oh, the deadly grimoire. The stuff of nightmares that we've heard of at the Academy. But maybe not for Darwin. Did take a nice little hit there, though. Wow. Okay. That's why we can't be overconfident. We'll just get slammed into a wall. Crab apple fruit is good. That does get us closer. I do like the dragon sense, though, because that is going to increase our fire a bit, just due to the fact that we're now at -10. But I do believe this is the right choice. We want to work on getting our grimoires down as much as possible. Another boss area. Gargoyles. Interesting. Ah. The mechanical beast. Let's see how this goes. Okay, we do have to be careful with our spells because some are stationary, and we don't want to lose it when this beast does leave like he just did. There we go. That was a perfect time for the rain of arrows, for the ice storm that we have. Perfect. All right, now we're going to hold. We were going to use Thunder Armor, but as I mentioned, we want to hold off and wait. He is very pesky with those. Here we go. Now we can utilize Thunder Armor. Beautiful. Wow. Was a little nerve-wracking at the beginning because of the mobility, but the Guardian did help us out there. His backpack. He's found the backpack. Wow, Magma Bead's so good, but we came for the backpack. We have found Darwin's backpack, and now we have reached level 10 Academy. Wow. We definitely want to get this up. This is why the defense is so crucial. Because now with every defense that we have of 10, we increase the amount of damage here. That is very big. 2 and 1, that's also pretty good. For entrance. I mean, that would allow us to get this to +2 for each. So I actually don't mind actually picking up entrance here. And what we could do is, so that's haste. This is defense. We want to increase defense. So we'll do something like this. Dash recovery speed. We have 2. So is this 2 lightning attack? Yeah, we'll keep it like this and then see where we go from here. Wow, pretty big increase, I have to say. We are taking more damage, so we should start focusing now on the Guardian. And then we could just pick up some small elements just to level out our Elementalist here. We could also increase by 2. No, I think it's still more beneficial for this. We finally found the backpack, but unfortunately, Darwin cannot go back the same pathway because the mine has collapsed. So now all he could do is keep going down until he finds a path to bring him up to the surface. But we're running out of time. His mother will be home very soon. He'll be glad he has the backpack, but if he can't survive the dreaded Roots retreat, he'll be more than grounded. Some good items here, but I'm just going to pick up a potion since we're pretty low on funds. All right, here we go. Another inventory slot is perfect. That's what we want to see. Enchant, of course. Double enchant. Another really good support area here for our young Darwin. Should be very good. Or we can leave. But Darwin is brave. Very brave. I mean, I'd feel actually pretty brave too if I could nearly one-shot level 30 enemies with no issues. Look at that. That is insane. Ooh, this is only going to help our cause. Another shrine that we've been blessed with. So now for every 10, wow, look at our cold damage and lightning. It's getting up there. So it's a good balance. It's a good balance. There's our inventory, so we are good to go. So now we have quite a few new slots here, which is great. We definitely need some boost, though. So the double enchants are going to be pretty beneficial. What does this get up to? This is at nothing. It's just +1s, and we're currently at +3. The move speed is what I like on this one, so we're going to keep that. Yeah, I'm just trying to look at top rows and then the next rows, but I think we're actually okay. Enchant, here we come. Was trying to avoid those dreaded blades from that Godzilla creature. It didn't work out in my favor. Now, we do need Guardian, and this will be very beneficial. I mean, that's going to give us health. I don't know if losing the evasion is where I want to be, though. But extra health wouldn't be bad. Let's see what else we could pick up, though. Oh. The crit chance of the grimoires increase. The regen doesn't matter that much. Is there an academy that we don't want to substitute? I don't think so. I think everything else is pretty good. I mean, the grimoire haste is where we want to be. And that's chance. A critical chance with our damage going up, though, by 30. I don't think we could pass on that. So right now we're at 10%, so we'll see how this goes. If we need a slot, we can choose what we may need to give up on. But for now, that's a good inclusion with as many inventory slots as we have currently. But Darwin is just... just absolutely annihilating these creatures. What is going on? Well, Darwin is going to have some tales to tell when he goes back to the academy. Everyone's going to be jealous. Ooh. This is tricky. I think the Guardian is where I want to go, though. There we go. Now we are a Guardian of 4, so we increase our defense even more. We're at 50, which is also due to our amazing shield bag, is also going to increase. And we're going to increase it more here. So now let's see. We can increase defense a little bit here if we wanted to. We could get our grimoires up, which, I mean, potentially that's just going to be even more. The Thunder Earrings increase here is interesting as well. But I'm kind of thinking overall the grimoire damage is probably where we want to be. So maybe if that's the case, I don't really want to lose the move speed on that one, though. Will I increase move speed? I would a little bit more if I went here. That one may not be bad either. So maybe I want to do something like this, just to get a little more move speed, because I know as we progress, some of these monsters are very quick. So a little bit of move speed can be the big difference. And even more enchant. Wow. Yeah, that creature, I call it the Godzilla lizard. The one that throws out the dreaded blades is usually the one that I try to focus, because it is a handful, especially when there are a ton of enemies that are very quick like these two that try to attack. But with all spells combined, it does look like we do quite a bit of damage, so we just have to ensure that the haste keeps up with everything. And having a balanced spells allow us to, like, we constantly are spamming the Ice Bolt, which is a great spell. I mean, having all bolts are good. The only problem with having all bolts is low damage consistently. But usually being able to spam this a few times, we have Thunder Armor ongoing, and also the Rain of Arrows, and then we also have our Firebolt as well. Wow. I mean, Oaths is really hard to pass up on. Yeah, Oaths is really hard to pass up on. So now we just increased the crit chance to 30 on these. Increased those. We do lose a slot here, but I could move some stuff around. But I actually think I'm okay with that. This is the one I would really like to get up for fire, since it is a really good... I mean, if we get Meteorite, which would be insane, right? The Meteor Shower. I would rather then focus on that one, because that's a 3-star. But I think for right now, this is good. And then now we potentially want to try to get the vest here up just to get even more haste and defense, which are both crucial to this build. Wow. I mean, these enemies are not lasting very long. Oh, goodness. And we're able to have the spells up so fast then thereafter. I think Thunder Armor is the longest wait period, but even then it is pretty quick. Okay, so we do have 2 here, so let's see what we want to utilize. Well, we did say we want to put it into either the Grimoire damage or the defense. So if we put 2 in here, that will give us an extra 3, which will boost our defense 3 and our haste, but it's not going to give us an extra boost yet in defense. right? It's not going to give us enough to where we're going to go for. We need 6. So potentially we could get there. So that is a potential to get this higher up. Or we can increase by 4 Grimoire damage, increase lightning by 4, and attack with an extra bolt. Attacks 3 nearby enemies with the electrocution debuff. That's also very good. I still think this is the best. Not only to play it safe, because again, that's why Darwin knows defense is key. And a lot of Magic users, that's why they're glass cannons, and die to the first boss that they see. Never go defense. So here we go. Will this be the pathway in order to leave the dreaded Roots Retreat? Let's find out. Pesky Asgard. Moving when we cast our spells. Nice, we did get the freeze off. Wow, we were able to freeze, but he was still able to get away, unfortunately. Taking effect of the blue burn here. Ooh. All right, we are going to have to face more tentacles, though. That's okay. We have some tricks up our sleeves as well. A restoration spell, just in case. One of the hardest spells to learn in the Academy. Oh, goodness. Wow. That's like one of the best items to pick up. I do like the struck branch as well. I mean, doing consistent damage, but the hand mirror is so good. Especially after that fight, needing shield and defense. Harvest is really good here. This is a 2 on its own, so we can actually set that to the bottom. This, we don't really need. Actually, this could be something we can give up. Because we already have Academy 11 of 10, and this is actually quite useless. I do really like Harvest, though. So this gives us another Meteor, which is very good. Or we can substitute it out with the Thunder Earrings. Let's just try that and see what happens. I think perhaps before we get to the last boss, if we're lucky, we may have to switch up just so we get all the Grimoire damage up as possible, along with the haste. Speaking of, wow, that's actually insane. There is just, we are just way too far away to pick up something like that. But if we are to find that in the run, in this last bit, that would actually be quite good. Now, I could sell this to pick up, well, actually, 140. No, it wouldn't be enough. Good thing I didn't sell it. We will hold. All right, so what is Darwin's last right? Well, we don't really need any more dice. A tablet could be good, but I'm thinking HP for the defense. Enchant is always good. And I suppose we'll see what the last one will be. Yes. All right. This has to be the area to leave. This has to be. Darwin hopes. We have no more time left in order to make it back home to the Academy with his backpack now in hand. At least we found his backpack. Could you imagine if he went through all of this and not found his backpack? I do like that. That gets us our ember damage a little bit higher, which is good. Even though it's still our lowest, it's still doing damage, and it still has an effect with blue burn. So it is very crucial. And again, having a balance is good, although our cold is way up there compared to the rest. Nice. And now we're over 100 HP for the first time ever in his young life. All right, we did say the enchant. I'm hoping it's a 3 just so we can get the full benefit of it, but we shall see what happens here. Ooh, we did take quite a bit of damage there, but we also were able to recover a bit more. Actually, increasing the Guardian and our defense, very crucial in this area from what I'm seeing so far. We've already been hit by quite a bit of penetration and projectile abilities, and we're actually still well off. Wow, another Oats. Something like this. So now the haste is up. We get a little bit more. The thing is, do I want to put 6 into fire? I mean, it's 52, which is actually pretty good. I would like to get this up if we're going to do that, though. Having 2 here, though, is a little high. But I do need the carrot up top as well. Yeah, that's still too high, huh? We could do 3 of 4, but that's not going to really be beneficial for what we're trying to get. So I still think we're going to have to keep it this way. We could use the 1 here, though, and then swap this. And then that way, if we use the enchant, we could still use it here. I actually like that. And we have 2 currently here. So we could also do something like this to get this up higher. And then max it out with the 10 defense. Okay, we have options now. Quite a bit of them, actually. Projectiles that I'm having a hard time trying to keep track of with all the spells that Darwin is also casting. I can't really tell which ones are mine or theirs. Okay, so it is a 2 enchant. Okay, so I mean, we definitely need to get the standards of magic up. And then That will give us 3 meteors. That gives us a little bit of haste in there. Maybe just the Grimoire damage overall would be more beneficial. The 2% could matter, so this is why I was thinking that I could do something like this. I mean, having Dragon Essence up would be big too, but then we would do something like this. So now increase the Grimoire damage even more. Let's see. Let's see how that has an impact. So now currently we have all the Grimoire damage as high as possible. This again is something that we can drop potentially, just depending on what we find. We are close to leveling, so there is a high potential we could gain 2 levels. Well, and if we use experience. Let's use experience, because it will guarantee us now a couple, maybe 3 levels, depending on what we find here. That'll get Magic Tech to 3, but that's not going to increase our lightning unless we find another lightning. But that would be pretty big. Just to have... Actually, that would be pretty big. Because we'll have another source that could potentially be targeted instead of Darwin. So while we focus here, our little jelly is doing its thing up there. I actually like that. And if we could find a better spell, then we could potentially change that up too. Oh! Or we could take a swim. The move speed was a good choice to invest in on some of the smaller items that did it. So again, I am able to actually dodge here pretty decently. And I think that's actually been pretty helpful. Especially with how fast some of these end area enemies are. Oh, this poor little shield one. It's doing actually a really good job. There we go. Ice Bug is pretty big. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to take Ice Bug. Yeah, the freeze potential on this will be pretty big. Yikes, was hit by 3 projectiles there at the end. Actually, if Fire Circus would actually be a really good fire spell for this build, too. Oh, we are so close. I don't think we're going to gain another level, unfortunately. Nope. Believe that's it. Wow. So we have 1 potion, a bunch of spells. So let's see if we want to ensure what we have here. Defense-wise. Every 5 seconds drops the meteor. So this will consistently inflict burn, though. So maybe doing this would be more beneficial to balance it out a little more. Yeah. And then we do have our little jelly that's somewhere over there. All right, here we go. Ooh, this looks like a scary area. This must be the way out. Here we are. Oh, it's the crow that we heard. Well, we will be leaving this as soon as possible. Cobus. Ooh. Definitely ate that one, unfortunately. Almost there, Darwin. Almost there. Hang on. We're almost home. Oh my goodness. Darwin. Oh my. The stories he will tell when he gets back to the Academy. My goodness. Oh, this was a fun one. There's the build. 10 Academy, Glacier 6, Guardian. I probably would have liked to have Guardian a little bit higher. I think potentially we could have. I could have gotten rid of maybe like a couple of the tablets here. And of course, in the talents gone through, I wasn't expecting, Standards of Magic is a great one, but I wasn't expecting to have fire lower. So that was a bit hard to manage as well. So if you're lucky, maybe you could even get Meteor Shower or a high-end fire and really get some high-end AoE. But what a build. Oh, this was such a fun character. Look at this little duck. Oh, goodness. Another level 30 Roots Retreat character in the books. There you have it, Darwin. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. It does help me out and I greatly appreciate it. Also, please feel free to post in the comments. I do reply to all of my comments, so let me know what you think of the build, the game, the gameplay, and the lore. And of course, if you'd like to follow this and all of my content, please subscribe. We are building a great community here. Just reached over 700 subscribers, so thank you to all the new subscribers. And a big shout out to all of my current subscribers that constantly comment, like, and share my videos. Thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate you. Till next time, everyone, take care.